Hi, friend. Welcome to Holly's Highlights, a podcast designed to encourage, inspire, and equip you to intentionally live your life full of purpose. I'm your host, Holly Kirby, motivational speaker, leadership cultivator, marketing strategist, and personal cheerleader. Let's check out today's highlight. Here we are in a new year, and perhaps we have some things we'd like to accomplish. We can want that promotion or pay increase. We want to be vulnerable in stepping out and finding love or investing time in relationships. We want to achieve a goal of writing a book, starting a podcast, or even starting our own business. Although Forbes reports 80% quit their goals by end of February, here's where working with a coach can help. Leadership coaching can help those wanting to grow and develop in their leadership role, have more positive impact in their role and with their team, reach their goals, have someone willing to call them out, or perhaps even simply have a sounding board. Life coaching is for those needing another perspective on issues that they are dealing with, that unbiased opinion. Transitions they may be experiencing in life, personal goal setting, even help prepping for interviews, or be a listening ear to help process life's demands and opportunities. Basically, we chat either twice a month for a half hour or once a month for an hour. I'll help hold you accountable for goals and actions, and of course, celebrate those wins too. Think of coaching as an investment. Are you worth investing in? Absolutely. It's time to make your ideas a reality. Get out of your comfort zone and step into a new year with more confidence and success. Want to get started? Spaces are limited, so don't delay. Reach out to me today at hollykirby.com or email contact@hollykirby.com. Well, here we are at the beginning of a new year. Happy New Year 2022. I wonder what significant events or challenges, opportunities, all of that lie ahead for us this year. A number of important things occurred 100 years ago in 1922. In 1922, some of the events that occurred were the Lincoln Memorial was dedicated in Washington, D.C. The first issue of Reader's Digest magazine was published, for those who recall what a Reader's Digest magazine is. Canada had the first successful insulin injection for diabetes. A 20-ton meteorite landed in Blackstone, Virginia. And for you baseball fans, Babe Ruth signed a 3-year contract with the New York Yankees. In 1922, some of the famous births included Judy Garland. She's best known for her role as Dorothy on The Wizard of Oz. Or Cyd Charisse, I believe is how you pronounce it. She was the memorable partner to Fred Astaire and Gene Kelly and was in musicals such as Singing in the Rain and Brigadoon. Oh, if I could only dance like Cyd. Beautiful, beautiful dancing. Then, of course, there's Betty White. Who doesn't know Betty White? Actress known for her Golden Girls show. And for you Marvel Comics fans, Stan Lee was born. He's the American comic book writer best known for his work with Marvel Comics. My dad did a sermon once entitled Standing on the Banks of Tomorrow, where he helped us look into Joshua 1:1-9, and the Israelites wandering through the desert, where someone, indeed a people, were preparing to enter their new territory, their new events, their new births, as you see it. See, Moses had rescued the Israelites from slavery, and yet they had wandered the desert for 40 years. They had been promised the promised land filled with milk and honey. So in other words, provision. Yet their walk of faith grew dim as they gave way to complaining and bickering and self-sufficiency, disobedience. Many passed away, including Moses, the leader. However, now Joshua is the one who would be leading the Israelites into this promised land. So much new territory. For the Israelites, there was so much new territory of a leader. Again, Moses had died, and here Joshua was rising up in that spot. A new territory of the land, as they were instructed to get ready to cross the Jordan River into the land God was about to give to them, to the Israelites. The new territory for the people, as only Joshua and Caleb had survived from the Exodus. New territory of the assignment, from learning to now doing. And new territory of the challenge, moving from the wilderness to a world of wickedness. The Canaanites' religion was characterized by prostitution and infant sacrifice, sorcery, idolatry. The list goes on and on. Well, with so much going on, it makes you wonder what Joshua might have been thinking. Perhaps a been here before type attitude from when they first entered the desert. Or maybe grieving and sadness with Moses' death, a wasted 40 years in the wilderness. Even the worry and responsibility. This is one reason I don't go camping with just my kids. I worry about protecting us from bears and the responsibility of protecting my children from just the outside unknowns. I just don't take that lightly. And here Joshua was going into unknown land territory and was responsible for all of these people. Now that's a lot of pressure. And then even perhaps just the anticipation and anxiety of it all. Now, can you identify with any of these feelings as you enter 2022? Now, there are some life lessons we can take from that story of Joshua and apply to our own lives as we enter this new year. First of all, God can speak to us, just as he did to Joshua when he said, "The Lord said to Joshua, son of Nun, Moses' aide, Moses, my servant, is dead. Now then, you and all these people get ready to cross the Jordan River into the land I am about to give to them, to the Israelites. I will give you every place where you set your foot, as I promised Moses. Your territory will extend from the desert to Lebanon and from the great river, the Euphrates, all the Hittites' country, and the Mediterranean Sea in the west. No one will be able to stand against you all the days of your life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Be strong and courageous, because you will lead these people to inherit the land I swore to their ancestors to give them. Be strong and very courageous. Be careful to obey all the law my servant Moses gave you. Do not turn from it to the right or to the left, that you may be successful wherever you go. Keep this book of the law always on your lips. Meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do everything written in it. Then you'll be prosperous and successful. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." Now, God can speak to us through many ways. Our reading of the Bible, through prayers and meditation, through mature believers, the counsel from them, through circumstances, through open and closed doors, through that still small voice, through miracles, or sometimes even though through believers. So the question here to us is, are we listening? Perhaps a goal for this year could be to spend more time with God. We talk about this in season 2, episode 28 of The Gift of Christmas. Perhaps the second life lesson we can learn from this is that we might want to take and apply God has a plan. In fact, he has the plan for our lives. Just as when he instructed Joshua above to rise and get up and cross the river, so basically to go, he has a plan for us too. What do you need to get up from or arise from and go toward in 2022? I had the pleasure of leading youth for a decade years ago, and we would talk about getting up and going, doing what we should be doing, the Great Commission. Not just getting comfy and sitting. We'd have an internal lingo of GOAD, meaning stop talking about getting up and doing it, of going, but get it done. Now, yes, for you English majors, this would be a word went, but GOAD just seemed more applicable. You've probably heard the question, where do you want to be in a year or in 5 years? Well, what are you doing now to get there? Stop thinking about what you need to get up from. Just stop planning it out or trying to problem solve it or dream where you want to be. Actually get up and go toward it. GOAD. The third life lesson we might take from this is learning that God will supply our need if we will just follow him. Now notice the Lord's promise to Joshua of getting them the new territory and continuing presence with them and the victory too. Wouldn't it take a lot of pressure and anxiety out of facing the unknown if we could just trust the Lord is sending us there and will provide for us while we are there? When I became a single mom over 8 years ago, I was scared to death what this looked like. But I knew that above all, I wanted to be in the center of God's will today so I could be in the center of God's will tomorrow. Each day I press into him, and some more than others.